Hey, what's going on, everyone? It is Jason, the Bullboski here, and I have just finished watching Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker, and wow, to sum it all up, it was an amazing movie. It was definitely something worthy to end the Skywalker saga. So I just want to talk about it, and I just want to let you know that there will be spoilers, lots of spoilers in this movie. So, I mean, in this live stream. So, if you haven't already watched it and you don't want to be spoiled, I would turn away now. But make sure you leave a like on the stream before you head out. So, let me pull up Wikipedia just to make sure that I do not forget anything. All right, so I got Wikipedia up. So, let's talk. Well, first, let's talk about this. Let's talk. Can we finally say that movie critics, and critics on Rotten Tomatoes don't mean anything now? Um, they just don't. They were wrong about this movie. I heard articles and saw YouTube titles that said this was the worst reviewed Star Wars movie and this movie was crap and this wasn't a great movie. And can we just put that all to rest? This was a fantastic movie. And I think it's like ever since high school, I've learned that if a film critic says a movie is bad, I will probably love it. And that definitely was the case with this movie tonight. So, yeah, The Rise of Skywalker, fantastic movie. So let's just get that out of the way. Let's talk about like some of the overall aspects of the movie. And what I mean by that is kind of like the essence of the movie, the spirit of the movie, the thought process between, J.J. Abrams and Lucasfilm and Kathleen Kennedy. Um, and I will get into like the movie itself, what I liked about it and what I didn't like about it, because there were some things I didn't like about it either. But we'll get into that in a little bit. But you can tell two things when you watch this movie. One, I think this, and I have a mint in my mouth. Sorry if y'all hear that. Um, they wanted this movie to be a fan service to all the fans, and that's a good and bad thing. Because I'll go ahead and tell you one of the criticisms I have of this movie is that, I mean, at a lot of points, it felt like this movie was rushed. The pacing was just going way too fast, and they were trying to cram a lot in to this movie. I think this movie could have been longer, and that would have sorted out the pacing of the movie. But you can definitely tell that they wanted this to be a fan service type of movie for the fans. So they played it kind of like that. They made sure it was safe, nothing too extreme, kind of like The Last Jedi was. And to be honest, that's the reason why they did it, because Lucasfilm and Disney got so much backlash from The Last Jedi that they had no choice but to play it safe. Um, so because I mean, look how divided the Star Wars community has gotten from The Last Jedi. You had fans who hate it with a fiery passion from hell, and you got people who think it's a masterpiece. I'm in the middle. To me, Last Jedi was, okay. But but I do think that them trying to make a movie to satisfy all the fans, they did it really, really well. So I will give them that. And I think that's it I mean, that's just what I think the thought process was, everything was, because I forgot who the original director of this movie was supposed to be, but with them bringing along J.J. Abrams, he's a Star Wars guy. He loves Star Wars, so I mean, you can tell that with The Force Awakens. So, um, but yeah, but let me know what your comments are in the chat. All right, let's get to the movie. See, what did I like about it? Honestly, I love that it was so action packed. I know they, like I said earlier, they did stuff a lot in there, but them going to, uh, they started off at the desert planet, then they went to the city with Poe's ex Spice Raider fam, and then they went to uh, the indoor. It was indoor. I heard reports that it wasn't indoor, but it was. And them going to the final. Here, I can pull up the Wikipedia. Uh, Exegol. Then they went to Exegol. So a lot of happened, a lot of action. So I'm glad that it wasn't as low key like Last Jedi was. Last Jedi didn't have a lot of action. See what else I love about the movie. Oh man, I loved the lightsaber fights. You can tell they more than made up for the lack of lightsaber fights in the Last Jedi in this movie. I mean, how many times did Kylo and Rey go at it? At least 4 or 5 times. So yeah, I like that. So that was a good time. See, character development. Any character development. I mean, there's not really too much character development with Rey. I mean, you can tell the biggest character development was Kylo, Ben Skywalker. Well, Ben Solo, sorry. But I liked his redemption arc. And oh my God, how awesome was it to see Harrison Ford as Han Solo again? Uh, just to give one last vision to his son and to repeat the words that he said to him on the bridge in The Force Awakens on Starkiller Base. Uh, but I thought that was great. Well, and let's go from there. Let's talk about some of the Easter egg guest stars that they have. And you noticed at the end of the movie where Ray's, on the ground, and you hear several voices. I personally know I heard Anakin, Obi-Wan, both Ewan McGregor and Alec McGinnis. I heard Yoda. I swear I heard Mace Windu. And honestly, I think I heard Ahsoka. So those are the ones I know I heard. And of course, Luke. Um, but yeah, let me know if I'm missing any, chat. I could be. But yeah, that's all I heard. And speaking of Force Ghosts, man, that's another thing that's good about it. I love how they brought back Luke as the Force Ghost and just catching his lightsaber from the burning ship. And you knew that Luke was going to come back as a Force Ghost. I mean, everyone knew it, but it still was awesome to see. And it was nice to him seeing the more positive, energetic Luke that we know and love, not the old guy, what's the word I'm looking for? The old, tired, don't care about anything Luke. But don't get me wrong, I do like his story in Last Jedi. I know a lot of people didn't like it, but I do like Luke's story in Last Jedi. But let's see, what else did I like about it? Action scenes were great, especially the final battles. Um, yeah, I think. I mean, there's really not much to go in. Oh, I do like you learning a little bit about Poe's past, being a spice runner, because you think with Poe, you think he'd be, some type of, ex-mercenary or whatever. Nope, just a spice runner, which is funny because in the comic books, there is a comic story that deals with Poe's parents. And Poe's parents were rebel soldiers. And they run into Luke, and Luke gets the seed to this force tree. And Poe's parents take the seed to was it Yavin? I think it was Yavin. They take it to Yavin and they plant it, and that's where they raised Poe at. So yeah, that was interesting to find out, and him trying to kiss that girl. I don't know what her name was. I know the actress is Kerry Russell. I just can't remember her character's name off the top of my head. Let's see, what else did I enjoy? I actually did enjoy the final battle. I'm not talking about the space battle, but the battle between Rey and Palpatine. And I'll get to Palpatine in a minute. But I did enjoy that with her, using both Luke and Leia's lightsaber, which I'll get into that in just a second as well. but them fighting the lightning and then Ben coming in and help saving them and them teaming up, that was nice. Um, I'm trying to think, what else did I enjoy? I mean, I really enjoyed all of it. It doesn't seem like I am because I'm not talking about much, but there's just so much that I enjoyed. And okay, and let's talk about Palpatine. People whined and complained that Palpatine was back. Before I get into that, let's talk about a theory I had. I had a theory that it wasn't Palpatine coming into the movie because all we heard was his voice and everything. I thought it was someone disguised as Palpatine, being and just he's a familiar face. But nope, it was Palpatine. I'm pretty sure they said it was his clone, or he has clones. And people whined and complained about, oh, Palpatine's dead. That means Anakin's redemption from Return of the Jedi means nothing. And I'm just thinking, do you people not know about? I'm sorry, I gotta bite this minute. Sorry. Like, do you people not know the stories in the expanded universe or the now Legends? There is a series where in the old Legends books, it was books or comic books, I can't remember. But this was a story that Palpatine does come back in the old Legends in a clone body. Luke actually goes and pretends to surrender to Palpatine and be its servant. But then in reality, Luke does turn to the dark side for a little bit. And then it's up to Leia to come and save him, to redeem him. And then at the end of that battle, where Luke and Leia fight Palpatine, Palpatine's spirit tries to go into another clone, or no, it was Leia's son. Was it Jaden or Anakin? Whichever one of Leia's sons. But that was a story in the Legends book, in the Legends, the expanded universe. And so it didn't make any sense to me, at least, people whining and complaining that Palpatine being back. But yeah, so there's that. And then, so I did like how he's coming back. I like the little intro. I mean, we saw the trailer for that. And thank y'all so much for watching that. Y'all have made that my most viewed and liked video on this channel, me reacting to that little trailer where we hear Snoke's and Vader's voice. So thank you so much. But yeah, I liked how he was like a zombie and his eyes weren't, you couldn't see his eyes until he started sucking the life out of Rey and Ben, and then he comes back. I like seeing all the Sith in the background too, that he and saying that he is the Sith. So that was nice to see. Oh, and another thing I love. Can we talk about Lando Calrissian coming back? Billy D. Williams. I love that how he came back, and just giving hope and piloting the Falcon again with Chewie. I think it was great to see Billy D. Williams, and he didn't die. You think Billy D. Williams, they killed off almost all the original, the original trilogy characters. You think he'd die too, but nope, he didn't. And neither did Chewie. And man, my heart was stopped when I thought Chewie died. I think my wife's heart stopped a little too when we saw it. But yeah, I was glad to see the return of Lando Calrissian. And I love that ending where he's with that one girl. Let's see, what's her name? Maybe they have it on Wikipedia. Endor Jana. And I think that's Billy D. Williams' daughter in real life. Let me know in the chat if I'm wrong about that. But yeah, that I like how in the end where you kind of hint that it could be his daughter because, those kids, just since she was in the First Order, they're taken away as kids. They don't know their parents. So her being back, her being, his child, I think was a great little twist they put at the end. So yeah, overall, trying to think anything else I really like about. No, that's really about it. I mean, there's some things I'm kind of meh about the whole 3PO memory thing. was a little meh in my opinion. The new droid, it was funny, but it really didn't bring any value. He was just there. Um, I like that we saw. I do like that we saw more of R2 because we barely saw him in the Last Jedi. But him, playing a more crucial role, especially in the first act of the movie, I love that. Anything else that I really really liked? Let me know in the comments in the chat what you really liked about Rise of Skywalker. Okay, I don't think there's anything else. All right, let's get into some stuff I didn't like. Uh, First of all, let's talk about Leia's death. Now, I'll preface this saying I know that they were limited on what they could use due to the unfortunate passing of Carrie Fisher. I just, I don't know. I didn't like how it just was like, you know, all of a sudden she knows what to do. She has to give her life energy just to communicate with Ben. And I don't know. I honestly, I'm not a whole fan of the whole Leia being all of a sudden, let's just say, her being a Jedi. I wish JJ would have introduced that in The Force Awakens. He could have done a better job, and I think that would have eased people into when Leia did the whole save herself from space thing in Last Jedi. Um, but yeah, I wasn't a big fan of the whole Leia's death scene. I mean, I knew it was gonna happen. We all knew it. I just didn't like how it was handled. Let's see what else. Um, Anything else I really didn't like? I talked about the pacing. It was too fast in some parts. It felt really rushed. Uh, what else that I really didn't like? I guess I wish there was more kind of guest stars like in person, like you heard Snoke and Vader. I wish we could have seen them. We heard Anakin and Obi-Wan and Yoda and Mace Windu and possibly Ahsoka. I wish besides just hearing them, I wish we could have just seen them, just a glimpse of them. I think that would have been awesome. Um, Whole Palpatine's introduction. In the opening crawl, it mentions that Palpatine was he sent a message out to the galaxy, and so that's how everything started. But in the crawl, it's already said Palpatine has returned. I wish it kind of would start. The movie had a different crawl, and it would started with the message that and Palpatine would have given to everyone in the galaxy, and that's how it was started. I think that would have I think would have done more for the story besides just saying in the opening crawl Palpatine is back. Um, let's see what else that I really didn't like. Let me look on Wikipedia just to make sure I'm going through everything. Oh, I'm kind of mad about this. But can we just feel sorry for Finn, him being in the friend zone? Oh, poor Finn. He's never going to get with Ray, and he tried to tell her. And okay, now I'm going to skip to what I do like. I did like seeing the whole bromance thing between Finn and Poe. I love that. So that was great. Uh, I guess we can talk about let's see, Ray. Okay, yeah. So yeah, let's talk about Ray being a Palpatine. I mean, people have been calling it since Force Awakens that she's either a Palpatine or Skywalker. I don't like either, and I honestly wish that she would have just stayed like a nobody. That she was just, there. I mean, she was just a person born with supernatural force abilities, and she just, kicked butt from there. Uh, because if she is Palpatine's granddaughter and around the same time as, well, around the same age as Kylo Ren, maybe younger, that means her parents would have been born during probably during the right after Revenge of the Sith, during that time period. Yeah, Revenge of the Sith, or during the Clone Wars. So, and there was this. I don't know. I just didn't. I think there was uh, just a here. This is how we explain her. She's a Palpatine. That's it. We see her parents, but like, you think her parents would have a stronger connection to the Force than she did? But I don't know. That I'm kind of about it. What else I didn't like? I already talked about Leia's training being a Jedi, which I didn't mind. I just wish they hinted at that more in Force Awakens. Anything else I really didn't like? Honestly, no. I think that's it. Let me go through Wikipedia, make sure. No, Octo. Uh, the ki- I guess we can talk about the kiss at the end between Ray and Ben. Um, I'm in my theater. I heard some girls in the front row screaming when that happened. That was funny, but I'm whatever about it. Um, okay, I guess we can talk about how I didn't like that Ben became a Force ghost and his body disappeared, because it's explained in the Clone Wars that requires training. Qui Gon taught Yoda. Yoda taught uh oh Yoda and Qui Gon taught Obi-Wan. And I think, what was it? Was there a comic book or a book or something where where Obi-Wan taught Anakin right quick before the last moments he died? I guess that could have happened here with Ben. But I mean, that requires strict training, so that just I just didn't like how he disappeared. I mean, it kind of shows that he redeemed himself, but I kind of wish that didn't happen, to be honest with you. Anything else I really didn't like? I think that's it for now. So I guess, let's see, been on for almost 30 minutes. So I'll end the live stream with this. Rise of Skywalker is the best sequel movie out of the new sequel movies. Force Awakens, Last Jedi, and this one. This was the best one. If I were to rank them, it would be Rise of Skywalker, The Force Awakens, The Last Jedi. I might do a video ranking all 9 Star Wars movies that relates to the Skywalker saga. I'll have to actually think about where I want to put Rise of Skywalker in with my overall list. Still doesn't beat like Empire, but I think I think it was a great movie. I think it was a great way to end the Skywalker saga. I honestly cannot wait to see what else comes out to the Star Wars universe. As we see with The Mandalorian, proves that there's more stories. Then you have the Obi-Wan series that's going to come out on Disney Plus with Ewan McGregor. So yeah, I think there's going to be much more to tell in the Star Wars saga beyond the Skywalker saga. But I will admit, I am a little sad that the Skywalker saga is over. Because since 77, I mean, that's what these movies have been all about, the Skywalker saga. So it makes me sad that there's nothing else about the Skywalker saga happening. But I'm still interested to see what else comes from the Star Wars universe. But but yeah, I think that's about it. So in general, Rise of Skywalker, great movie. Has its flaws, of course it does. Every Star Wars movie has them, but it's not as bad as the critics say. And I think if you are a Star Wars fan, that you definitely need to go see this movie. I'll be seeing it again, hopefully in theater before it comes out on home video or streaming services. But if you haven't seen it and you're on the fence about seeing it, especially if you're thinking about the Rotten Tomatoes score, forget the critics, forget the score, go see this movie. All right, well, that is it for me. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit the like button, share the live stream when it comes available to all your friends. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button with the bell notification on to be notified when I upload new videos. But I'm going to probably go head to bed soon because I am tired. But it was great hanging out with y'all. Thank y'all so much for watching. Thank y'all so much for the likes. And I will see y'all next time. Bye.